They're here.
Here's Johnny.
Welcome to my world, bitch.
Hi, I'm Chucky, and I'm your friend to the end. Heidi ho.
When you're down here with me, you float down.
Like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
What is up, guys? Welcome back to season 4 of Friday the 14th, episode 1. I'm the bad guy, Nick H.
What's up? I am the other guy, Mr. Fuentes, and I see we have a guest today.
Woo!
I am Juan. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, no problem.
Cinema Movie Podcast in the house!
So this is before jumping into the review, this was something I came up with. I didn't tell Fuentes anything about having a special guest on. This was just gonna be a surprise, and I told Juan about the whole thing. He was really into the idea, and he was like, "Oh, sure, let's do it." But I wanted to see if I could, have it set up to where it actually works.
I was definitely surprised, so you got me for sure.
How's y'all days going so far, or day overall?
Pretty good. So far for me, beginning of the year starting strong.
Why is
I know everyone.
synopsis?
I know everyone does their beginning of the year resolutions. I didn't really have resolutions. I just knew it was beginning of the year and I needed to get stuff started. So I started working out, punching the heavy bag that I have and stuff. So been pretty consistent the past couple of weeks. So I'm pretty happy with that.
How about you, Juan?
Long day. A good start to the new year, but it's been a very, very long. We're only 12 days into the year, and it feels like it's already been 6 months. So,
Damn.
So today's movie review, we're reviewing HELLRAISER from 1987.
It definitely looked like it was from 1987.
Let's see. The spoiler-free snaps.
I'm waiting for you to make up one on the spot right now, Nick.
You want me to make up one on the spot? I don't think I can, to be honest.
I thought about it and I was like, man, how would I make up this spoiler-free synopsis? Chick feels guilty about banging bro's brother, then decides to do things for said dead, or not even dead. I don't even know how to explain that. Go ahead, do the one off whatever one you were gonna read.
Off of Google or whatever. So, sexual deviant Franco, Sean Chapman, that's the actor, inadvertently opens a portal to hell when he tinkers with a box he bought while abroad. The act unleashes gruesome beings called Cenobites, who tear Frank's body apart when Frank's brother, Andrew Robinson, I don't know, I think that's the actor's name, to be honest, and his wife, Julia, played by Claire Higgins, move to Frank's old house. They accidentally bring what is left of Franco back to life. Franco then convinces Julia, his one-time lover, to lure men back to the house so he can use their blood to reconstruct himself.
Oh, he uses her all right.
Oh yeah,
Use her to the fullest. And the release date of this movie was September 18th, 1987. Directed by Clive Barker. It's adapted from the book he wrote called The Hellbound Heart. The budget was $1 million.
1 million.
Yeah, so that's some of the quick stuff. The cast: Doug Bradley, who plays Pinhead, Jamie Clayton. I don't think it says that it doesn't have the. I don't know.
Oh, don't forget
I'm gonna be
Don't
lazy
forget
with this one.
Millie Bobby Brown. She went back in time to pretend to be Ashley Lawrence for Christy.
This is never one of those Patrick Wilson things. Like we had said, the being fun were saying that dad Poltergeist, he looked like Patrick Wilson.
That's the multiverse Patrick Wilson.
Right?
Yeah, Millie Bobby Brown, or her mother, so to speak.
You know, it was funny. Oh, I guess this is spoiler free. We'll talk about it later.
It's spoiler free for right now. All right, spoiler free rating. Should I go first?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna go first. um. So starting out with my rating, it was I think a 4 machetes, but I think I'm gonna give the generous 0.5 extra added on, 4.5 machetes.
Holy crap! I want to hear Juan's now.
Spoiler free. I don't know why, but this was just a little bit rougher than I thought it was going to be. Right now, without even getting into it, I'm going to have to give it a 2.5. 2.5 machetes.
Yeah, I agree with Juan. I was heading toward a 2.5 as well for my rating. And I'll explain a little bit later. Actually, there are actually very aspects of this movie I like a lot, but not enough. But we can talk about this later.
All right. Spoiler warning. Go check it out now on Amazon Prime or Tubi for free.
Ooh.
Tubi. Where did y'all watch it?
I watched it on Tubi.
I watched it on Prime.
I put the Blu-ray in, and I was going to ask you guys, did you guys have like a lot of just like graininess to it? Did it kind of like throw you off, or was it pretty clear for you guys? I had read the reviews, and like I had said it was a pretty bad transfer, but I didn't know if you guys had any issues with streaming it, or if it was just maybe me.
I mean, it looked like an older movie when I was watching it. It was like it was kind of funny too, because I watched it on Tubi, and the very first like production part that came up, it was like super clear. And then like right after that, you could tell like the granulation started coming in from an older type movie, and I was like, oh, that was really weird. I was like, I guess it didn't translate as well as it should have.
It was the same for me. So
trying to look back at it, I don't know. I guess I really couldn't tell. Just because it is from the 80s. I don't know how good the transfer was on Prime. Like, it was no 4K, that's for sure, but
I mean, it's Prime, man. It was the Prime transfer, like the best
Prime transfer. The 4K number.
Right? They went up to 8K.
Alrighty. Who wants to go first as far as favorites? Favorite stuff, favorite scenes?
Was that a pun? Like, who wants to go first?
Who wants to go first?
I'll name some of my stuff off. Some of my favorite scenes was it didn't come to an hour after the movie. When you start seeing Pinhead and some of the Semiobots, it really kind of dragged for me the first hour. So my favorite scenes would be like when Christy opens up the box and the symbiotes just show up, and she's running down that creepy hallway into the hospital that she's in. The hammer kill, one of the first kills of the movie, that was one of the highlights of this movie. And then some of the makeup and special effects, man. Like I said, that kind of a little rough around the edges for me. I didn't think it was going to be this rough because like I said, I'd seen Hellraiser before. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm just nitpicking. What about you, Fuentes?
Like in order, because I actually was taking notes as I was watching the movie. So like one of the very first scenes that I saw that I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. Whenever Frank's body was kind of getting revived back, I liked that special effect that of his body like coming back together. I imagine like when I see effects, my brain like wonders how that effect got made, especially back in like 1987. So I was like, they had to have like had a body and like just started melting it like slowly and like just reverse that footage to kind of make it have what looked like something coming back together. Um, I just thought it was really cool scene. The introduction to I thought, are they called Cinnabots or Cinnabites? I thought they were.
Probably
So
some.
the way it's spelled out, it looks like it would sound like it's spelled Cinnabites.
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 Cinnabons.
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 I like me some Cinnabons. Yeah, when they did not the full introduction that you get a little bit later on, but the like mini introduction to the Cinnabites, I thought was really cool. Like you got to start seeing like the different characters behind, well, I wouldn't say behind the scenes, but in this other realm or dimension. And I don't know, it was really cool. Like one of my favorite like things about like the old Freddy Krueger movies were like all the exaggerated makeup effects and stuff like that they would use in those movies. That's actually something I really, really like about older horror movies are those aspects. And we like miss that nowadays because it just gets replaced with CGI. Like
Yeah, everything's digital.
Yeah, and I don't want to say it's cheap, but like it sucks because there's real badass like back in the day, maybe even nowadays we just don't see it as often. Makeup or effects artists that were putting a lot of time and dedication, and I don't know why. Every time I see stuff like that, I appreciate it because I'm like, somebody took like hours of their life putting this effect on someone's face for them to like do something, or a mask that they had made just for this occasion. Like it's so cool to me. I really enjoy it. So as soon as the Cenobites came on, I was just like, oh shit, okay, this is really cool. All right, I like where they're going with this. I was like, one guy has a giant forehead and teeth, and that's all he has. But I mean, I like it. It looks cool, like the way they played it off. I don't want to say it was one of my favorite scenes, but it kind of made me laugh. But it was the scene where the guy with a lot of teeth came out like for the first time in front of Christy, and like he puts his fingers into her mouth, and I'm just like, oh my god, this poor girl who's probably like her first movie ever, like just has this guy shoving his fingers into her mouth. I'm like, oh my god, this is horrible. Like for her, like as an actor, like was she told that she was gonna have fingers shoved in her mouth? Like, was she cool with this?
It's in the fine print.
I was just like, oh my god, that was crazy. The effects again, I really like Juan was saying, I really like how the effects came out with this movie, even up to like the point where like they're trying to hide later. Christy's trying to hide later, and she knocks over that dead body from earlier in the movie, and a bunch of maggots just fall out of the mouth. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. I don't know, just it's not even a hard effect. It was just something that I thought was interesting, like to add into there. And then the whole Hooks grabbing Frank scene around the end part, I thought that was a pretty cool because again, like my brain wraps around like how did they do that effect type of deal, and so I'm just more curious on like how they did that. Honestly, I really don't know what effects were like back in 1987. So like anytime I see something really cool, I'm like, dude, how do they do that? You find out like the Death Star exploding in Star Wars is just like a styrofoam, model with a firecracker in it, and then you're like, oh wow, that was what they used. Like, yeah, that and a mirror and a not a mirror, but like a glass, and they just videotape just it blowing up, and it works. Stuff like it's just little things like that. I really enjoy. But yeah, as far as effects wise for mostly everything in this movie, I was pretty impressed, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, as far as like, I guess anything I like was pretty much, yeah, it would be all anything the effects wise. Man, yeah, just the overall Frank coming together, just like every single time he gets fed a body. I was like, this is very very unusual but pleasing. It's sick, but it's really satisfying. It's like, come on, give him more bodies. I want to see him full on form, you know.
It
And
reminded
then
me of
there's
the
that,
Mummy.
yeah. So then there's that one scene whenever I already forgot her name, and the daughter, when she like peels off his skin. I was like, damn it. And like this is already going to more into like further in the movie, like spoiler stuff, but whenever Julie, she's in the way, and like she gets stabbed.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, Frank's like, oh, like he didn't get like really didn't give a shit at all. He's just like, oh, I mean, it happened, whatever. And he just sucks her up pretty much. Like, I was just gonna assume that his face would be like at least reattached, but that didn't happen.
That I thought that was interesting too. Like a lot of decisions about the storyline was interesting, to be honest. But I thought what was interesting too was that like whenever his quotation marks final body he needed to look what somewhat regenerated was more of him just stealing the skin off the other body and not actually rejuvenating his old skin, which was really weird to me. That he didn't just become Frank again, like he just became his brother. And I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
Like, why didn't he just grow his skin back? Like, no, we're just gonna have him steal his skin. Like, I kind of get why they did it. Like, because obviously they wanted to mislead Christy whenever she came in to believe that her dad was still alive. Like, I can kind of understand why they did it, but it was just like, I don't know. It was really weird. You know, you watch this guy, kind of like you're saying, you watch this guy satisfyingly like start regenerating, and then he doesn't even get his own skin in the end. He's just steal someone else's. I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah. It just like it cracked me up whenever he's like, oh, he's telling Julie like, it's like, don't look at me, don't look at. So look away, look away.
Look away.
It's just it was cracked me up, but like this whole thing, like it's crazy, like having having an affair with like that's like his brother's his girl, like he's gonna come back to life, like, oh, Julia, I want you back. I know you're thinking of me. And like, oh, you would do anything for me, right? Anything,
You know,
anything.
you know I'm sexy in this
I'm sexy and I know it.
skinless body.
It's like anything. And I thought about that song. I would do anything for love, but I won't do that. But me, I don't know.
Like who's more twisted in this movie though? Is it Frank or is it Julia? Like they're both kind of just like, you know, he wants to be rejuvenated, but yeah, she's willing to do anything just to get him again. I'm like, I don't know who to root against really and who to wish death upon.
They're both bad guys.
Yeah, they're both the bad guys.
Dang. The bad guy, Julie and Frank.
Tag team partners.
And it's almost kind of like, I don't know. Good thing the movie wasn't called Pinhead because I'm kind of like misleading towards, you know, he's the whole guy on the poster, but I'm like, he's like in the movie for like 10 minutes.
Tops, right?
Yeah.
He's the guest star.
Yeah.
Well, you know, after watching this whole movie, I kind of appreciated it a little bit more by the end because to me, and this is, I guess, closer to my dislike, is the whole storyline was crap. Like everything, like that storyline was a crappy storyline, but it kind of like opened the door for future Hellraiser films. It was kind of more of an intro to the Cenobites than to actually really, but like it's still kind of crappy because it's like the first movie in a franchise. Like you think it would be like more, but it was just kind of like, I don't know, you got this really bad storyline and then you're kind of left with like these Cenobites that are still probably roaming around somewhere. I don't know, you kind of get the whenever Christy starts like doing the magic box thing and making everyone disappear, like they kind of make it seem like they're being destroyed, but I mean, I'm assuming they're just getting transferred back to the other dimension.
They're getting set up like from far from home.
They definitely did a good enough
Was
job
it
for me to be interested to go watch
The Way Home?
future Hellraiser movies, just to kind of see how the progression like happens with this. Like, where did they go with this? I want to see part 2 just to see what happens next. I hear Christy kind of becomes like the main protagonist in a lot of these movies from here on. So I guess, I don't know, I guess I'll see that and talk about that randomly on some other show.
Some other show. Which show are you gonna talk about it?
It did make me want to see like part 2. A few years ago, like Hellraiser Judgment came out. It was like a 2019 or 2018 movie. That one was okay, but yeah, I haven't seen any other sequels.
I was looking up the random stuff. You know what the budget for that new movie or that newer movie was?
Like $500.
It was like $660,000.
Wow.
Definitely less of a budget than this one. So I'm actually curious to see like if it's less of a budget, but somehow either equal or a little bit better than the 1987 version. Like, how much have we grown as a film company? Has film in the next like 30 years later, huh? Oh, is it 40 years later? I don't know how to do math.
87, like mid, no,
Like 30 years.
early 30 years.
Yeah, 30 years. I don't know, Nick, man. You're throwing 4.5s out and stuff.
I'm throwing 4.5s. That was mainly for the effects.
Yeah, okay.
So we're trying to convince you that it is not a 4.5, right?
I said generously 0.5, but realistically overall it was a 4, but mainly for effects.
So what is it, Nick? Though, like you said, you picked this movie. What was it about Hellraiser that kind of just makes you like wanted to pick this movie and then wanted to talk about it? Like, he is one of those horror icons like everybody else is. But what makes you just like? What made you want to tick about it?
What made me want to?
Tell us, Nick. Tell us.
I mean, it's just overall, it is it's a fact. I mean, he is one of the icons of the horror genre. Let's see. I think we've gone through like a lot of the icons. Yeah, we went through Jason, Michael, Freddy, and then Pitten's like one of the guys that was like out of the, But I don't know.
I don't think we've ever done an actual Friday the 13th review. We've done Freddy versus Jason, but like we didn't do an actual we haven't done a Friday the 13th review.
We did well, when I say we, I mean me, Franco and Andy, the reboot.
The reboot run, I remember.
Yeah,
now.
on Friday the 13th.
That's right. I remember that. I wasn't there.
You weren't there, unfortunately.
Which is going to come back later at the end of the podcast.
But anyways, yeah, we've gone through the main 4, like Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers, on.
This is my thing. If you're going to give a movie even a 4, that just means that it has replayability. Like, this is something you're going to tell someone, hey, man, you want to watch a movie? This is definitely the movie we should be watching right now. It's Hellraiser. Let's watch Hellraiser right now.
Right
like,
now.
That's how I feel about a 4. Like, if you talk about Insidious, I gave a 5. But if you're to talk about what movie I want to see, or what movie I would recommend, I would be like Insidious, Conjuring. That's the only 2 I can think of at the top of my head. But those are good quality horror movies to me that I would recommend to someone on a beat. But you're saying that Hellraiser is one of those movies. You'd be like, yes, that's the movie we should be watching right now.
From a standpoint as a longtime horror fan, realistically, I would do Hellraiser before getting into Insidious and Conjuring, to be quite honest. Not go reverse, because if you go reverse, then it's going to be hard for people to get into the older movies because you're tuning into the current stuff. You're going to be expecting that formula instead of the older.
Yeah, I would kind of agree, especially like you said, Hellraiser being on like everybody's poster, everybody's like just you see Legends of Horror T-shirts and stuff. Like he's all over the place. So I
Pinhead,
mean,
yeah.
it may not have the best rewatchability to some people, but if you are introducing somebody to horror, I think that is one movie you would kind of like, hey, check this out, and you can kind of determine somebody's like horror taste, whether if they like it or not, probably. Speaking of taste, what did you guys think of the Rob Zombie looking character eating the bugs? I was like, is that Rob Zombie? He's a little too young. He's a little too young to be in this movie. But he's just sitting there and munching on the bugs.
I thought
those aren't special effects. I bet those were real bugs.
Yeah, he totally ate real bug. Well, I mean, okay, so when you watch his hand, he has the bugs on this hand, but then he like. So I mean, he probably didn't have any bugs in the palm of his hand, but he definitely had them on his face, and even that's enough to be like make me cringe. Like, oh god, he had crickets all over his face, just crawling around. Like,
so we had Millie Bobby Brown and Rob Zombie in the same movie.
Right? It's crazy. They went back in time just to give us this horror movie classic.
They're like, listen, man, we're gonna give you $1. All right.
You know, it was funny. Like as I started watching the movie, like that first scene I like really saw of her face, I was like, man, she really looks like that girl from Stranger Things. And then, as the movie kind of progressed, I was like, okay, maybe like I could see where she really doesn't. Well, she does, but she like looks more like whoever that actress is. But as it got to the end, where like almost the very end, where they accidentally open the other portal and the other monster from earlier in the hallway comes back out, and they're doing like the scene of like flashing back and forth between her face and the monster and her face and the monster. I was like, okay, like I know I was kidding around before, but this actress really does look like Millie Bobby Brown like a lot. Like it was almost unmistakable, like how close of like appearance they looked. I was just like, wow, like this girl really looks like that other girl. Like I didn't even look more into it, but I don't even know if they're any kind of related whatsoever.
Yeah, I could see it. I pulled up a pretty young picture of her, and she looks like she could be like a distant relative or something, like a long lost stepmother or aunt. Yeah.
Right? I don't know. It was really weird.
What did she do on the set of Hellraiser?
Could have done another 13 going on 30 movie.
Right?
Stupid.
That would have been perfect. That's actually the perfect actress for that. A reboot. Get the older actress now and Bobby Millie Brown, and then do the 13 going on 30.
Netflix.
Or put 13 going on 50.
15 going on 50.
That's an interesting sentence right there. We're talking about Hellraiser and 13 going on 30.
That's how it usually goes down. Friday 14.
What a mixture.
Oh,
Which one is the true horror movie though?
Which was the true horror? 13 going on 30. No man.
So we have any least favorite scenes?
Least favorite
besides what we have already said, possibly. All right, guys, I'll go first. It's okay.
It's okay. I mean, if you insist.
I thought the acting was pretty stale overall, like from all the people. The only actor that I thought was a really good actor was Frank. Thought he was a great actor. Everyone else I thought was just really just kind of there. I mean, the Cenobites did their thing. I mean, they were kind of creepy. You had the one weird whispering. I want to assume was a chick, but I think it was a guy. The whispering guy. Like, and then those guys were kind of dicks in the end. When you really think about it, like they still wanted to like take her, and after they're like, it was kind of weird because like Pinhead was like, "Leave, child. This is not for your eyes." And then she kind of like sees like some of what's going on. Then she turns around and it's like, I was like, oh, okay, they're kind of being like, graceful for not graceful, but what's the word I'm looking for? They're kind of being a little kind in a sense, like you don't want to see this horror we're about to inflict upon this person. And then she leaves the room, and then you get that other Cenobite that's just like, "Are you leaving so soon? I'm about to take you to where we go, like, you ain't gonna leave. And I was just like, what? Like, y'all were just gonna take her after she like helped y'all out? Like, y'all not even gonna consider letting her go? Like, you're just, that's it? Like, I don't know. I thought it was weird because I started seeing like random little articles online. Like, what are Cenobites? Are they Cenobites? They're very delicious treats. Cenobots. Are they angels? Are they demons? And then it's kind of like reading one of the like descriptions, and it was basically like, well, they're not humans for sure. They don't really do right or wrong. And I was just like, basically the way they were trying to describe it is they don't know right and wrong more than like an animal knows right from wrong from like eating someone else's food or something like that. Like, they just kind of live their lives. And I was just like, but it still doesn't make sense to me. Like, there is right and wrong still. So they can either be doing right or wrong. Like, I don't understand your description of them. But maybe I need to watch more of the movies to understand
Cenobites. They're just fictional characters. I don't know.
But yeah, that was the acting. I didn't like. I thought the whole premise of the, kind of like Juan said earlier, like the whole first half hour of the movie was really like dragged pretty hard. But then like right when you got to that last like 30 minutes, it was actually like enjoyable and actually like pretty entertaining to watch the whole time. I was just like, oh shit, okay, cool. Oh yeah, effects everywhere.
Effects everywhere.
Yeah,
this is what the budget went to. Frank the Cenobites, and then towards the end,
right? That was the other $500,000 budget right there.
They had to be cheap the first half. Got to end it with a bang.
I even wrote like a little thing right here. I was like, the premise was weird. She fell for her husband's brother, feels guilty about it, finds out her brother is like this half-dead thing who needs blood to regenerate, kills for him, basically sleeps with him the first time they met. It's all whack.
It's all whack.
And then my other thing was I really hate the stepmother.
The thing that cracked me up on the scene is when she's just zoning out, thinking of the good times with Frank, and the dad, the husband, he's like, he gets stabbed with the nail that's popped out, and he's like, oh, it sounds like he's moaning, whatever, and so she's hearing it in her head, replaying in her head. It's like this.
Yeah.
The sex scene with the nail.
It's okay. I mean, the initially, like, I guess pain overall is like a sick, I don't know, fantasy. I mean, especially to the Cenobites and all that. But even Frankie, he likes the whole torturing thing. It was like torture.
Yeah.
So the same time he got nailed, she got nailed.
Yeah.
They both got nailed.
Everyone's getting nailed.
Even those rats.
Oh,
those rats. Sad.
I wonder if hopefully those are special effects.
Special effects. Right. Use puppet Muppets.
I thought about that at some point in my life. I was like, even if you put like no animals are harmed at the end of this field, like, how do you know? Like, how do you really know? Like, they didn't do it. Like, you don't. You really don't. I don't know.
Just put it in there, man. Just to tell them that there are no animals of harm. Okay, I'll keep hush. As far as like least, I mean, there was because there's that scene where Frank tries to go sneak up from behind, get his brother. He's gonna kill him, and Julie's like, no, don't do it, don't do it. I was like, all right. I mean, I thought it was pretty pointless considering later on in the movie they end up going with the initial kill anyway. They killed the brother off anyway.
It was trying to show that she had a little bit of humanity still left in her. I think that's what it was trying to show.
And then she went a full-on heel turn.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, we're in it.
Sucks to get sucked.
Yeah, and that's some of my rough scenes were probably like a lot of the weird Jerry Springer sex scenes / like the dialogue between Frank and Julia. It was just like, I was expecting Dr. Phil to pop up at any time and say, "Why don't you guys step in my office?" Because I don't know, man. I just think that the dialogue just wasn't there. Like I don't know if it's Frento, as you said something about like the acting and just not hitting it on point. But I'm like, oh, it's a '80s horror movie. I'm not gonna try to like, I'm not gonna judge them that much. But it was just a little rough with the dialogue.
I want to give them a pass, but then I really like Poltergeist. Poltergeist was a good movie that had similar look and feel to it, but it had really good dialogue throughout the entire movie. So, I mean, it was just lazy writing. I mean, it really was. Like, Poltergeist was a really good movie, like a really good dialogue-wise movie. Like, it wasn't really boring or anything really seemed, the plots really didn't seem out of sync like this movie did. Like, and I'm really not trying to hate. Like, I mean, I honestly, I kind of hate sometimes critiquing things in a bad way because, I know people work hard on all these movies. Even back in the day, they were spending their hard-earned money to possibly do something better with their lives and, create this vision they had to bring it to real life. So it really sucks that I critique them sometimes, like kind of harshly, but I guess sometimes it's all up here and then it gets down on paper and you're like, wow, that was way less dramatic than it was up here.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm the same way. I hate critiquing and trying to get on the movie's bad side, but like, yeah, the first hour was really, really rough with some of this dialogue, and I'm just like, whether it be the weird sex scenes or both getting nailed at the same time. I do think that maybe Clive Barker possibly should not have directed this movie. If that makes any sense, because he did write the book and he did want everything probably to be like super close to his story and his vision, that maybe if he let somebody else come in and direct it, maybe it would have turned out a little bit different.
That kind of makes sense.
Looking at the sequels, they had different directors, even though he still wrote the main story. Maybe I went in looking at this at a completely different view, because even though this is like my third or fourth time watching it, I think I was so caught up on seeing Pinhead and just wanting like death and death and death. The first hour was more of like the triangle love story, and that's probably where my initial watch went wrong. But it was still kind of rough.
Come to daddy.
Yeah. That's another scene that I have in here is the Uncle Frank scene where he's just like, "Come to daddy." And I'm like, am I watching Hellraiser or Freddy? What the hell's going on?
Or like in 1987 porn. I don't know.
Some of those sex scenes did feel that way.
So I have some plot holes that I put in here. I'm just gonna read them down the line, and y'all could just jump in whatever y'all feel. This girl really thought that throwing the box into a fire was gonna just completely destroy it. Like this dimensional box that opens other dimensions. It's just gonna, you can just throw it in this fire and it's just gonna go away.
What's in the box?
What's in the box? I started writing this around the end, like plot holes, because I don't really write plot holes at the end, so it kind of works backwards. The hobo was kind of foreshadowed throughout the whole film, just to be some kind of like demon that retrieves the box and just leaves. Like he didn't have any real purpose, but he was like foreshadowed in there like twice. Very weird, memorable scenes that you're just like, who's this guy? What role is he gonna play later? Hey, it's the hobo again. Oh, hobo's on fire. Oh, hobo was a demon the whole time. I mean, I guess, but like at the same time, it's like it could have just been. Okay, so I'll give him a little bit of credit. If it would have been someone random who just ran up and grabbed the box that you weren't introduced to at some point in the movie, I would have been like, what the fuck was that? So, okay, I'll give him a little credit for that one. Okay, they had to like at least make it seem like somebody who kind of knew what was going on. Whatever happened to the sunglasses Cenobite guy? Like, from what I could tell, they're basically like demigods. And every other one she banishes with the box, but this one gets like a piece of wood falling on him, and she's like, "All right, he's good. I could just go to the next one after that." Like, just yeah, he's just there somewhere. He never got banished. He's still underneath the rubble and fire somewhere, just chilling, just like, well, got this piece of wood on me. I don't know what to do now.
He's waiting for the sequel.
Yeah.
Right? He maybe I don't know. Maybe they thought that one through. Maybe he purposely got left behind. You know. It never really explains why Frank wanted the box to begin with. Like, it's talked about pleasure and pain and opening doors to heaven or hell, and he really didn't care which one. But like, why? Like when someone looks for something like that's power, quotation marks, there's usually a why behind it. Why do you want the power? Why do you want to open a dimension to another door? There's more of a reason than I was just bored with my life and I'm a bad boy. I want to open up another dimension. Yeah. Like, that was kind of what I got from that. And I was just like, I don't know, man. It's not good enough. It's not good enough for me. And then
Some people just want to see the world burn.
I guess it is true. I mean, that is a real life mantra for some people. And then the last one is, why is Julia a dumb hoe?
She's blinded by love or lust.
Or both.
Yeah.
Both.
Or fear. I don't even know. She was just
She
like,
just wanted that bang.
she's like,
She got it though. I'll say.
like that part where they're trying to recreate their like love scene where he put the finger in her mouth, but he was like half skinned still, and he was finger in her mouth. I was like, oh, like,
I want to touch you. He's all, let me touch you.
He goes from "don't look at me" to "I want to touch you."
Let me touch you. Okay, Frank, calm down there.
I couldn't, man. Like, you know, like I thought I read a little article, not an article, but a little when I was doing random YouTube searches for random things, and I saw like a little quote that was like one of the goriest, most gruesome, goriest movies of 1987, and I kind of agree, to be honest. You know, I was probably one of the worst, not worst, but like more blood-filled, effects-wise, like movies I've seen of that era in a long time. So I was like, okay, I can get why this probably had its cult following back then. You know, they're like, whoa, guy got his head bashed in by a hammer.
Just came here for good time.
Blood, sex, and rock and roll.
Hell yeah.
Want to get right into the slogans?
What is the slogan for Hellraiser?
That is a good question.
Get nailed or die trying.
Get nailed or die trying. That's it.
He'll tear your soul apart. Oh, okay. That has kind of like two. Demon to some, angel to others. Hellraiser. He'll tear your soul apart. Again, really focusing on this Pinhead character and really not showing very much of him throughout the movie. So yeah, I got a few. Hellraiser, this cock is to die for. Hellraiser, Cenobites are assholes. Hellraiser, come to daddy.
Come to daddy.
Hellraiser, is that Pinhead or Needlehead? That was a joke because earlier I was doing a Instagram story and I was just like talking about it. And I said Pinhead naturally, and then I was like, wait, was that even right? Because I thought on the Puppet Master, and I may be right, the Puppet Master, that puppet's also named Pinhead, correct? The big stocky one with the little head.
Oh, his head looks like a cone head.
Yeah, I think his name's also Pinhead. So I got really confused. I was like, oh shit, is he also Pinhead? I was like, were there two Pinheads in this era? And I think there was. I don't know.
Who you call Pinhead?
And the last one I wrote down was that Hellraiser. That's a Rubik's cube you don't want to solve.
He'll tear your soul apart, man. Hellraiser, Pinhead, or Dickhead? It'd probably be pretty funny if it just said Hellraiser, he'll tear that ass apart.
He'll tear the ass apart.
Oh, we can replace the box and the poster with like an ass.
Or yeah, can you imagine if that's the face? That's probably the face that he's making when there's an ass in front of him like that.
Can't wait to get my hooks in that ass.
Hellraiser, dick in the box.
Dick in the box.
It's a dick in a box. A dick in a box.
Torture porn. That's good.
I mean, the characters are really cool though. Like, I that's what got me more interested than anything was like when I saw the different characters. Like, I want to know each one personally. Like, I can't wait for more movies and hopefully they explain like each one's role a little better in the future movies.
Pretty cool. I was looking at some of the special features and some of the guys that played the creatures were like, you know what? We did 8 hours worth of makeup for a 10-minute scene. And then they went back in the chair and did another 6 hours of removal. And I'm like, that's dedication.
Right?
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, everything with special effects and the way they look was top notch for me.
Yeah.
Nice.
We got to get back to it.
Can you get back to it? They'll never get back to it. Next and final segment of this stream podcast.
I actually forgot about this segment.
Wait, why? How dare you?
I didn't write nothing, so I'm about to freestyle.
I'm out of here.
Uh-oh.
It's all rest tacos. How we would have ended it. Everyone dies straight up.
Yeah, that's kind of what I have written down. I would have liked to seen a Quentin Tarantino ending where Pinhead and the Sinbots just like showed up and just butchered everybody. Like, you guys are having this little 3-love triangle thing. Let's just show up and kick everybody's ass and just tear everybody's heads apart. And then they just left, and that's how you would have probably had the sequel line in. So I had a nice bloody Quentin Tarantino ending for mine.
Damn.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, since I found out that this chick Christy was going to be basically a protagonist throughout most of the movies, I thought it just would have been more interesting for her to keep the box and like right around the end, like she's like you basically like, oh my god, we got out of there free, and then like a hand comes out and steals her boyfriend and pulls it into the box, and that's kind of like the ending, like It's like that would have been interesting. Like, I don't know, like even the not cliffhanger, but even the ending was kind of like, I see where they were going with it. I understood, like, oh, it's supposed to start from the beginning, and the guy who originally sold the box is going to sell it to another unsuspecting person, and it's going to start all over again.
it's kind of like the way another movie we reviewed ended.
Which one?
Babysitter.
The Babysitter?
Yeah. Killer Queen. Have you seen that movie one?
Killer Queen?
Yeah.
The second one?
Babysitter.
Oh no, I haven't seen it.
No, that's why I was afraid. I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say what movie it was.
Oh.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
But if I was in the movie, I would have grabbed like a big ass rock and then threw it at the homeless guy who did the demonic creature. And
What are
he
you
would
doing?
come back, and then he would eat me.
Get away from that. Don't grab that box from that fire.
He's gonna be that box that he's already turned on fire and just I don't know. I would tackle him and just beat the hell out of him. Like
It's just,
don't get in that box.
I don't know. Is there a different way I would have ended this? I don't know if I would have ended it any different. I just would have added more Cinnabites. Like, just like Juan was saying a second ago, like, they're an 8-hour makeup for 10 minutes. Like, how are you going to do that to somebody? Like, like, I just don't get it. Like, why? How are you going to do that to somebody? Like,
Could you imagine if they forgot to do a scene? Like, oh, we need you back in the cherry. We forgot one scene.
I was going to say, I hope they shot all the scenes they needed in one go. Like 1 day production. Like, we're going to have to shoot all these scenes. And don't worry, guys. It's only 10 minutes worth of footage. So we'll be good.
We're good. We all good.
I wonder if they told them before or after, the makeup. Like, I haven't got lines yet. Like, it's okay. You'll get them in a minute after we do your makeup. But I really need to rehearse. You got like 4 lines, bro. Chill out.
4 lines. We have such great sights to show you. I would have
your lines. You just keep chattering your teeth.
What about the guy with the fat woman with glasses? You say nothing. Okay. How much does this pay? Enough.
Enough.
No,
Enough.
We'll give you a ham and cheese sandwich and some Lay's.
Some Lay's. Or you could end the movie like a generic way. Also, you could just end it with that scene earlier when she's thrown into the little hospital area. What was like a little it seemed like more of a mental.
Oh yeah, that was a good scene.
I was like, it kind of cracked me up in that scene because they had the cube and look like they're gonna take it back with them, but then they ended up just giving it to her. Like, oh, you can hold on to this. You're holding on to that for dear life. Like, they don't even question why is she holding on to this item? It looks like it's very important. Now we're just gonna hand it back to you.
Yeah, that scene kind of got me too. Like, along the line with the bad acting. Like, the doctor was so forceful. Like, it wasn't even like worried really. It was just more like angry at her because what was this? Does this remind you of anything? You're holding on to it for dear life.
Doesn't ring a bell.
This here just in case you remember why you needed it so bad.
Yeah, and then you could have the ending could have been that whole thing, and then the portal opening up. Nah, I don't know. I feel like that's a cheap ending, though.
I would give this movie 4.5 stars. I'll even go up to all the way to Nick's. If I was able to edit the first hour into like a 15-minute segment and then just like splice in the last 30 minutes. Like just a straight like 40-minute movie. Just I'd say, yeah, this is 4 stars, bro.
This is it.
This is a 4-star movie.
Or if they could have ended it just where like you see Pinhead's like little end it in his world for like just like the last 90 seconds and show him and all of his bros just go back and try to recoup. Yeah.
I guess that is another thing too. That would have been something cool to see around the end to like let you know that they're still alive, because it kind of made it seem like not that they died, but they could have died. I mean, we don't know really because they didn't really explain what happened to them after she messed with the box and made them disappear. But like, yeah, that would have been kind of cool to see. Like, oh, okay, cool, they're still alive, and oh, we're getting a peek into their world. So maybe next time, the next movie, we'll be able to see more of their world. Like, I'd be excited about that. Like, it'd be a good little cliffhanger to see. Yeah.
Yep. Well, that was it. That was the end of the segments.
This was a fun season premiere. I really didn't expect Juan to be here.
You had to go all out, man. She's prepared, but you're dressed up nice and
I know my flower.
Yeah, I felt
Flower
underdressed. I felt underdressed with my cheap Top Gun shirt.
top. I was wearing we were talking about Freddy and whatever, and I'm over wearing my Freddy shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The same shirt I wore in Don't Spoil Spider-Man or something like that was in No Way Home.
Maybe next time I'll come more prepared as far as like shirts. I had a Halloween shirt, but I'm like, nah, I don't know.
Gotta invent some more shirts now.
Yeah.
No, but
I think it was definitely a fun conversation, especially when you guys can, we can all be like diverse on the movie. We kind of have 3 different opinions and 3 different ratings really of the movie. It's pretty fun.
That's definitely still 2.5 for me. For me.
for you.
But I'm gonna probably take on the challenge of editing this movie down to 40 minutes and see if I enjoy it more.
Editing it down.
Chill, bro.
Just started at the 47-minute mark.
Was there any at least importance? I'm trying to think back to the beginning of the point. I know it was a slow build up. I just feel like at some points there was kind of it did add to the story.
Mine, I would just do a montage of like, get me more, you will help me, get more blood, right? And then the next thing, da 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 da, pink, da 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 da, pink, 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 pink. Just all these people just falling back and forth and getting eaten. I think it'd be better. Not better. I think it'd be entertaining. I'm gonna download this movie now. I'm gonna torrent this movie somewhere, and I'm just gonna throw it into my video program and just cut it up.
Nick, you said that the book is called Hellbound, and then the first movie is called Hellraiser. But I noticed that the second movie is Hellraiser Part 2, Hellbound. So now it kind of makes me want to go watch number 2.
Number 2.
Yeah.
Number two.
Yeah, it's a weird, interesting thing called it. If it's alpha book adaptation, that's maybe it has more to do with that story. I don't know. Be a little bit odd.
Love triangle.
The love triangle. And there's another love triangle again. It's just a repeat. I haven't seen part 2 in a while, but I know how those scenes how a little bit it plays out.
I need to work on my wall game. Both of y'all's wall game's pretty nice. Mine's just blank. All I got is this Friday the 14th podcast logo on my wall.
Oh, nice.
What
That's a
the
good
hell?
looking poster.
Yeah.
How much does that cost you?
Oh, just a digital design, price, I guess.
This is just a green screen, honestly.
A green screen.
No.
Honestly, I might just remove everything from my back walls because it's pretty much green already. Just leave it as a green screen.
There you go.
Hell yeah.
All right. Got anything you want to plug? Or what you can say?
Well, I guess we can go with the next movie we're gonna review.
Yeah, we can go into that first before plugging in shit.
So I thought about this as I was looking. I was like, you know what? before I even watch Hellraiser tonight, I'm gonna be proactive and see what movie we should review next. So I started looking through all the horror movies, and on Amazon Prime, I found The Collector, and I was like, dude, I didn't get to be on The Collector. This is when Franco and Manny were still
the Franco and Manny era.
We're doing the show, and I was like, you know what? Me and Nick are gonna review The Collector. The 2 other hosts now of the show. So it's going to be 2 different perspectives of the same movie from 2 different hosts from 2 different eras.
That sounds like a creative idea.
So we're going to do The Collector next time.
Oh, man. Normally people do like revisits, but this one's just a whole never take. It's almost like we're in a multiverse now.
Right? The multiverse. We'll compare them later. I watched that. I not watched it, but I looked at the runtime of that. It was like 29 minutes. I was like, wow, we break about an hour for pretty much every show. So this podcast topics have definitely broadened since then, I think. Our segments and things that we've done. So kind of made me kind of cool, kind of happy, to see that this the podcast is kind of growing and that we're putting new things into it and stuff like that. And I kind of like the structure right now so far. How we do it, favorite scenes, least favorite, slogans, how we would have ended it. I think it's a pretty solid lineup. I like it. Anyway, just wanted to pat ourselves on the back for season 4, dude. Season 4, Jesus Christ.
I think that. I don't really know what the first 2 seasons were. I think season 1 might have been shorter. I know season 3 has been the longest one, though. I think.
Yeah, 26 episodes. I think so.
Somewhere on there.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Juan, you want to plug it up?
Yeah, sure. Thank you guys again for inviting me. I had fun. Anytime I get to come on and talk movies with you guys, it's super fun. I don't really have anything personal that you guys can follow me on. You guys can follow me on my podcast pages. I have a podcast as well. Do exactly kind of what you guys do. You can find us wherever you listen to Friday the 14th at, so like Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So you can follow me on the facebook.com/The Cinnamon Movie Podcast, or the Instagram is one word, Cinnamon Movie Podcast. And we hang out, talk movies, and we joke. So yeah.
Nice. I'm not ready, Nick, if you want to go next.
You're not ready.
No.
He wasn't ready.
I guess you can follow me at the Bad Guy 2313 on Instagram. You can catch our latest stuff on Imosawa Productions. More wrestling highlights from more of the recent shows we went to. You can catch me on Imosawa Live. I've been doing those a lot as of lately. My next one will be tomorrow night at 7. For me, it'll be 7, but for him, it'll be 8 o'clock.
Ooh, different time zones.
So yeah, my guest will be a guy known as Funko Fat Guy, aka Jake. He also. Oh,
where's he from?
Where's he from? I honestly forgot already. Look, man,
Alabama.
That's where Andy's from. Now,
is he gone already?
Yeah, he already moved it. He's over there. Sad.
It is sad.
But yeah, have him on.
Hi, Andy.
And there's still something else I want to say, but I feel like I need to let you plug your stuff in, and then I'm gonna say it after you're done plugging your stuff in.
Oh, thank you for allowing me to plug my stuff in. Hi, my name is Mr. Fuentes. I say hi. I don't know why. That was really weird. But yeah, my name is Mr. Fuentes. I do rap music. If y'all don't know, y'all can check me on Spotify, Apple Music, and pretty much anywhere you listen to streaming music wise. Just look up Mr. Fuentes. I also am on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Mr. Fuentes 361. That's Mr. FUENTES 361. I also wanted to ask Juan. I guess that's what I was wondering. Was I know you do your Thursdays. Y'all do kind of like not segments, like a series and stuff like that. Like what next series were y'all about to? I know y'all just got done to the Spider-Man one, I believe.
Yeah, I think we're kind of taking a break from doing 2 episodes a week. It was getting a little hectic there. Then the holidays came, and I was like, if we had to end it for now, I think Spider-Man would have been, the perfect ending for those. There's been a lot of talk on what to do next. I don't know honestly right now. So yeah, we took a break from some of the bonus episodes.
Yeah, I remember listening to one of the podcasts, and one of the other guys on your show is a big Harry Potter fan. So I was like, are they going to go through all the Harry Potter movies? I thought that would be something interesting.
Yeah, Harry Potter is definitely something that I want to do, but I feel like I don't know. It's been really really busy right now. But
I was like, especially with the reunion episode that just came out recently, that'd be a hot topic for a lot of people.
did you watch that?
I haven't yet.
Me neither.
I've thought
Also-
about it, but apparently Emma Watson breaks Ron's heart. So I'm just like, man, I don't know if I'm ready for that.
Yeah, she breaks a lot of hearts. Apparently, she can break my
She
heart.
broke my
it's
heart.
okay.
She broke my
What?
heart too.
Yeah,
She strokes my heart.
that's what I thought he said.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but I don't want to say I'm a big fan, but I'm definitely probably more of a fan than most people. I don't want to be rude, but like normies.
Normies.
Most muggles.
Muggles.
But yeah, no, I was just curious on what the future trajectory was for Cinema Movie Podcast for that. I just honestly I really like that idea. I think it's really cool. Me and Nick have talked about which I think Nick you talked about before. You're gonna start a segment where you're doing like TV shows or something like that. Which one? What were you gonna do? Yeah, you were gonna do like a Friday the 14th, but like almost like a bonus Friday the 14th episodes.
Oh, I wouldn't really call it bonus episodes. I mean, there are bonus ones that are gonna be done on Saturdays. Like, I plan
were
on
those
doing
just gonna-
an episode with Jay Elite V. So I think you already done plugging your stuff, and this is the parts where I get to say about what I was gonna go into.
Okay.
So
go ahead.
Friday the 14th, the official name is Friday the 14th Podcast UHD, which the initials stand out underrated horror discoveries. So it's kind of like a play on of like 4K UHD, like the 4K movies.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, you know how I was telling you like Rob, the guy I did
That's right.
Identity So I was live with. I did a Friday the 14th episode with them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, unfortunately, there's a change of plans. He's not gonna be on the show. You put the red nose on.
Why not?
Okay, so Rob's out of the equation. He's out of the picture. So I did find a new host, and I'm about to break some news breaking news right here, right now. Our newest signee of Emo Swap Productions he so happens to be on the bottom of the screen here.
Oh. Well.
So that is right. One is now Emo Swap Productions. He is my co-host for that show we're about to do.
Nice. Hell
Two
yeah.
surprises in one stream.
And I always get left out of the loop.
So I mean, that kind of answers one of your questions there. I mean, you're asking about what his future plans are. That's one of his future plans.
Nice. Well, welcome to the team, Juan.
Thank you.
Although he is open to the idea of jumping on the main show, but I told him you don't have to jump on every single time, but the invitation's there if you ever want to jump on.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, I definitely enjoyed having you part of this episode. I liked your insight on a lot of it. Sometimes talking to Nick's a little hard, so
How dare you?
Well, I mean, I'm excited. I appreciate it, and it's one of the main passions that I have is movies. Doesn't matter what genre or how good or bad it was. I love sitting around and talking movies with great people, and that's what you guys are. And I'm excited to see where everything goes from here.
Well, I'm glad you're taking on this role because I remember now what the whole idea was, and I definitely don't want to see these really underrated very D-like movies. It's like watching Thanksgiving, but like every time.
I'm pretty sure there's be some underrated bangers, like, and it's not gonna be all just necessarily like the B films, like the cheesy ones. Like we are gonna do like
Oh yeah, there's some
them movies are big.
there's definitely
better
some
quality.
cheese that's going to be involved, like Attack of the 50-Foot Woman.
Yeah, but the
Oh
first movie
man,
are
not one movie about the deadly tire.
no. No, but our first movie is actually not going to be a cheesy. I mean, it's a little cheesy, but it's more like it's trying to be more serious. So it's underrated in a sense. But it's not the Thanksgiving vibe.
Which is cool. I like the name. I like the underrated title because you do, like you said, Nick, you don't have to do just cheesy movies. If you want to change it up, you can do a horror movie or something different, and just we can call it underrated if we want. So underrated.
You should definitely do Walrus. That's an underrated movie.
Tusk.
I think that's Tusk. That's what it's called.
Tusk. Yeah, that's a trippy movie, and it's about a podcaster. So
I've never seen it. I've just heard about it a lot.
Mm.
I know it was directed by Kevin Smith, and I know his name's not Jake Long. That's the American Dragon. Justin Long, yeah, is in there. Also, weirdly enough, Johnny Depp is in there, but like cameoed as like someone else. I thought that was kind of cool. But no, I've never seen that movie either. So the new one's going to be called Friday the 14th UHD.
Yeah, for short. Friday the 14th podcast UHD. Like I said, that's gonna be more like live stream vibes than this podcast.
Gotcha.
So we'll be doing exclusive stuff there.
Cool. Well, I guess like
A24 vibes. Oh,
like what? Hereditary, Midsummer. But anyways, yeah. To close out the show, thanks for tuning or watching us visually if you watch us live visually, and tuning in on Friday.
Y'all should definitely watch visually because I have a nice blazer on.
It is nice. I want one of those one day when I grow up.
Yes.
Yeah, that's real nice. I was going to ask where you got it from, but you don't have to tell us. It's okay.
I don't.
$35 at JCPenney's.
Nice.
It was on clearance.
Clearance.
We need to get you like a Friday the 14th blazer with the logo all the way around it. Yeah, that look
get that merch.
That'd be kind of cool though, like just like blood, like that nice red crimson, kind of like almost like pinstripe, but it's blood.
Almost like through. Scott Hall's vest.
Maybe
bad guy.
Bad guy Scott Hall.
But anyways, yeah. That's enough. We'll go ahead and cut off the live stream. Remember, folks, always ban the bad guy.
Peace.
See y'all later.